Hello and greetings from 4160 Tuesdays. A little bit about perfume classification, because it can be very confusing trying to work out what kind of a fragrance it is that you like. And there are many different ways of dividing these things out. The first was, I think, Michael Edwards in his book Fragrances of the World. This is the 2016 edition. And let's find Michael, who was working in perfume sales and helping to train people how to help them sell more perfume. And he realized that somebody walked into a shop and said, "Can I have this?" Let's think, what's discontinued? Aquamanda. That's looking randomly around the collection. Could I have Aquamanda, please? And the salesperson said, "Oh, I'm very sorry, we don't have that." What are they going to do? Say, so off you go, toddle off home, not to worry. No, they're going to try and find something that the person might like instead. Now, Aquamanda is quite easy because it smells of mandarins. So they could reach for anything that says mandarin on it and probably get away with it. But if it's a bit more complicated, and there are thousands of perfumes out there, a salesperson might not know it. So Michael, carefully, with a great amount of research, devised this system so that he could look up a fragrance, find something similar on the list, and try that for the customer as well. And he came up with 7 different categories. If I look at, well, okay, I picked a random page, and I've ended up in my favourite chypres. So there are quite a few pages of chypres here, but here we go. Mossy Woods, it's called here. Nice photo. It's quite an expensive book, but then it's designed for the shops, not us. All right, let's start at the beginning of chypres. So they're divided also into fresh, crisp, classic, and rich. And then on this page, so we have the citrus fresh ones, and then the citrus crisp ones. And where they're over the page, we're into the green fresh ones, and the marine fresh ones, and the white flower fresh ones, the crisp, fruity citrus ones, the crisp green ones, etc., and the classic ones. And on it goes, even into gourmand, crisp chypres. It can get quite complicated. Well, the Osmotek make it a bit simpler, but they don't put everything in their book. They put in the ones that they keep in their collection. But I find this one really good. If I find something in the Osmotek's guide in one group, I can almost be guaranteed that I like the whole rest of the group. So they've divided it into Hesperides, citrus, floral, obviously, your flowers, fougere, fern, chypres, the mossy ones, boisé woods, ombre, ambers, and cuir leather. Boom. That's what the French say. Can't go too far wrong, can you? Except you might say to yourself, well, what about gourmand, and what about marine, and what about fruity florals? And they manage just to fit them into those categories. So take 7, they're going in there and behave. I've got a nice one here, which is Neil Chapman's lovely perfume book. Here are his categories. Okay, green, which are divided into grasses and green florals. Citrus, I won't list them all because we'd be here all day, but citrus, flowers. Actually, I do want to go into this because flowers are so varied. I mean, I don't really like tuberose, but I love rose. That's another thing. Often people think that tuberose is a rose, which it isn't. It's completely different. It's French for the tuberose. It's tuberous. So it's nothing to do with rose. And Neil has orange blossom and neroli, bluebell, hyacinth, narcissus. I'd probably put narcissus nowhere near a bluebell, but they're spring flowers. There you go. Lily of the valley, violet, iris, carnation, jasmine, rose, lavender, lily, tuberose, gardenia, lang lang, and frangipani all on one line. Mimosa, magnolia, lilac, osmanthus, and heliotrope all on one line. Now, you might want a geranium, but geranium quite often goes in herbal because it smells more like leaves than the flowers, because that's what it's made from. So maybe that would turn up in green. Then we have a little one, classics, which is floral aldehydes and chypres. Spices, gourmand, eros, love that. A whole section for sensual fragrances, including amber, musk and leather. Woody, meditative, oceanic, which is the marine category, and then anti-perfume and futuristic. Is not that just fabulous? Well, I think that's fabulous. The Perfume Society, they don't have Perfume Bible. They don't have a circle or a line. They've got a fan, and they've got 8. So, you know, it's not that simple. I've worked out, and this is sort of informed by what I know I put in things. Notes being what you get out, and materials what you put in. So what you put in is not necessarily reflective of what's described on the notes list. But anyway, I have this one. I've gone with 12, but they're different from Michael's. So I'm going with fern, fougere, herbs, citrus, aquatic, fruity, floral, floral amber, sweet, which is the gourmand one. Because gourmand is French for greedy, which I think is not very nice. I call it sweet. Spices, amber, chypre and woods. And of course all of these you could just take your scissors, cut them all out and stick them together in different combinations. Like for example, what I did on my holidays. I mean the fragrance, I'm not going to tell you what I did on my holidays. Okay. My neighbour's doing housework. It's aquatic, gourmand, herbal really. Anyway, fortunately, that's all I had to say because somebody's chopping something up to pieces outside in the courtyard. So I'll finish now.